Hello. My name is Michelle. I'm 51, and I've been working very hard to get a handle on my money. And so every week, I make these videos showing what I spent the previous week. Hopefully, my glasses, there isn't too much of a glare, and I have my microphone on, so I know that you'll be able to hear me. So I have been tracking my spending in this, which is an academic planner that I got from Dollar Tree. And then the markers I use to color code are these. And then the pen that I use is this. We're doing it that way. It's called Pen and Gear. I love the way it writes, and it comes in like a pack of 8. So I'm 51. I've been retired for about a year, which means I'm bringing in less money than when I was working before. Not a whole lot less though, because before I retired, I actually was working part-time. So I'm only bringing in right now maybe $500 or $600 less. So it isn't really that big of a difference. And I do have some other streams of income in the works. So I have a real estate business where we do affordable housing in urban areas. Right now, we're really just focusing on rent by the room, but eventually I bought a duplex, I think 2 years ago. And I'm in the process of securing money so that I can get that fixed up, and then that's going to be some additional income. And then I also have a TPT store that focuses on English language stuff for the most part, like sub plans, SEL stuff, bell ringers, and then movie guides. And then I have this YouTube channel that's not monetized yet. I also have a teacher YouTube channel. That one's also not monetized yet. And then recently, I've started doing some supplemental work just to try to kind of keep my real estate business afloat, because right now I don't make enough money to like cover the business expenses on my real estate plus my personal expenses. So literally this past week, like I've started kind of doing work that I just say is supplemental income. So this is tracking my spending for the week, and this is going to run from February 9th, Monday, February 9th to Sunday, February 15th. And I am going to put probably like right here a little picture so you can kind of see what, the pictures that kind of go with what I spent. So Monday was a no spend day, so I was happy about that. Tuesday, I spent $56.78, and I spent that on gifts, office supplies, snacks, food, and fun. I went to the casino. I ended up spending about $41 at the casino. So I've decided that I'm gonna give myself like about $20 to $40 a week for fun. And now that I'm doing this supplemental work, that's where that money's gonna come from. And so I went to the casino. I love the casino, and I'm trying to get out of my world of black and white because I'm very like, OCD. I like stuff ordered, and I like schedules and routines and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes, like, if I can't do stuff the way I want, then I'm like, forget it, I'm not gonna do it at all. And I don't want to be like that. I want to be a little bit more flexible, kind of live in the gray a little bit more. And so even though my favorite casino game is the tables and playing roulette and sometimes 3-card poker, I don't have the financial means right now to do that, but I can go and just spend, $20 to $40 on some slots. So that's what I've been doing, is once a week, making sure I have fun, because I feel like, especially now that I'm retired, even though, I'm working on growing other income streams, I feel like I've spent so much of really all of my adult life, like making money, not really focused on like my hobbies and just making hobbies and having fun a priority. Like, I am a fun person and I do have fun when I do things, but I've never been intentional, like, okay, once a week I'm doing something fun. And so now that is my intention. And so I went to the casino, had a ball. I'm so excited. I found this little slot machine for 50 cents. It is so much fun. It's like these little beavers. And then I also play this train one. And, if you're a gambler, you get like little perks and stuff. So I had like $5 in free play. Then I end up getting another $10 in free play, because the casino I go to, like, if you get up to 50 points, then you can like swipe your loyalty card, your player's card, and like get additional free play. So I swiped it and got $10. Plus, I get $10 a month in food. So now that I'm kind of getting a handle on this, I think I'm going to do the casino like every other week. And then on those off weeks, find some other means of fun, whether it's like a museum or the movies or just a cultural event, something like that. So that is that. So Monday was no spend. Tuesday was $56.78. Wednesday, I spent $3.23 on cookware. I really just got this aluminum tin because I've decided I really don't want to eat meat all like that. So whenever I do cook it, I want it in something separate. So that's why I got that. Thursday was no spend, which is great because my goal is to have 2 no spend days a week. So that's pretty cool. Friday, when you look at the picture, you see it looks a little wonky. That's because I do not have any white out, which is crazy considering I taught for all those years. But I wrote the wrong numbers down and I had to cover it up. So I ended up having to use like these little labels. So Friday, I spent $63.19, and that was on snacks, self-care, fuel, and office supplies. The self-care was incense. I love aromatherapy. So I have like incense, candles, wax warmers, all sorts of like just sprays, all sorts of stuff. So every month I get incense, and I was trying to keep it under $10, so I did good. So that bought me 3 boxes of incense. Saturday, I don't know if on a subconscious level, I don't know. It was Valentine's Day. Maybe I just was spending because this is crazy. I spent $131.60. I spent on fun, my hobby, office supplies, car, dining out, snacks, clothes, food, and gifts. Now, here's the cool part of this though is the car stuff really was worth it because I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, and so I've been out here about 6 months now and had not washed my car, which is crazy because you figure I drove my car out with the dog, and I had not washed my car once since I had been here, and so I was like, this is crazy. And so what I did was I went to Walmart and got like the stuff to wash my car with. I even bought a car vac. So my new goal is that once a month I'm going to wash my car. I need to name this car. I usually name my car. So like one of my previous cars was like Princess Poppy. I had another car that was Judy from Zootopia. I usually name them from like my favorite, what's it called? Like animated movie at the time. So I really gotta think of a name for this car. So I'm gonna come up with a name for her or him. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a guy car. A guy name this time. Okay, and then Sunday I spent $71.35, and that was on clothes, food, dining out, Buddy, who is the dog, and then household. So, and that was really just a variety of stuff. But oh my goodness, when I totaled this up, I'm like, girl, what are you doing? I spent $326.15 in 1 week, which to me feels insane. And that was $75.85 more than the previous week. Now, honestly, I have no idea why I spent so much money last week. I don't know. I really do not know. And so I feel like I definitely got to slow it down this week. And I get it. Some of that stuff was kind of a one-time thing. It's not going to be like every week. But I still feel like I really have to buckle down and like, I don't know, like really try to keep this week under $100. Like that is the goal. And if you've watched some of my previous videos, you've seen that I don't really have like a budget per week. You know, I just have a set amount I can spend each month. Now that I'm doing this supplemental work though, of course that does get a little fuzzy because I'm earning money every week. So that's kind of giving me more money to play around with. But really the purpose of that money is really to build my capital reserves for my real estate business so that when like my rooms aren't completely rented, I can kind of make up for it and I'm not dipping into my personal savings. And then the other part of that money is really going to go towards self-care because I really want to get to a point where I can get like, at some point I want to get weekly massages, but right now I'm just shooting for if I could get like a half-hour massage, plus a pedicure every month. Like I would be very happy with that. But still this week, was a lot, or rather last week I spent a lot of money. So this coming week the goal is $100, which I should be able to stay under, because this is not a casino week since I went last week. So that means this week's fun is probably going to be the movies, and I still have a gift card. I think I'm gonna go see Wuthering Heights. I have not read the book in years, but I think I want to, just the cinematography and stuff made it look so cool. So I think I'm going to go see that, or Crime 101. So if I go to the movies, I have a gift card, so I can still stick with my goal of having fun once a week or doing something fun without actually having to spend money. And I know I'm going to have to get fuel, because one of the things that I've picked up is like I drop I help this family out by like picking their kids up and taking them to school and then dropping them off in the afternoon. And so I know I'm gonna have to, like, every week now I have to get gas because I'm just in my car more. So again, thank you for watching. I hope that you'll subscribe if you like content like this. And my last video, I was like, you really should subscribe if you're over 50, which I still think you should. But technically, I think everybody should subscribe, because if you're under 50, then you can kind of look at, like, you know, what you might be spending money on as you get older, or you might get some ideas on how to track your spending every day. And it does not take me long. I actually do it like in the evenings as part of my nighttime routine. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't do it necessarily every night, but I do keep the receipts so that at least every other day I can keep it. What I may start doing though is I may start keeping a running total of what I'm spending, because I think had I done that last week, I probably would have pulled in the spending if I would have known, like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna spend close to what, $350, $400 in a week, which is still blowing my mind. So I think what I might incorporate this week is to keep a running total, so that I can kind of keep track of, like, okay, what are we doing, even if it's just mental math. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any tips, tricks, any helpful hints on how to track your spending, how to spend less money, in particular on food and snacks and dining out, is kicking my butt. And I realize there's a connection between my level of anxiety and my routines and how much money I'm spending. And I guess because last week was my first week doing supplemental work, where I was like driving this family's kids, and then I was kind of just out the house more and kind of off of the routine that I had created, that might attribute to why I spent a little more than I wanted. So hopefully this week, now that I can kind of start crafting some different kind of routines around my new schedule, I won't be spending as much money. And definitely the goal is to not dine out at all this week. So no dining out. I think I should have enough snacks for the week. So we'll see. But as always, thank you so much for watching. And until later, be grateful. Bye-bye.